Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, is a research and development agency of the United States Department of Defense, and it is responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military. The agency was established in 1958 on February 7th by the President Dwight D. Eisenhower, in response to the Soviet launching of Sputnik 1 in 1957. As of 2021, the mission statement of DARPA is to make pivotal investments in breakthrough technologies for national security. The creation of the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency was authorized for the purpose of forming and executing research and development projects to expand the frontiers of technology and science, and able to reach far beyond immediate military requirements. Its creation was directly attributed to the launching of Sputnik and to US realization that the Soviet Union had developed the capacity to rapidly exploit military technology. Roy Johnson was appointed as the first director of DARPA. He left a $160,000 management job at General Electric for an $18,000 job at DARPA, while Herbert York from Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory was hired as his scientific assistant. Johnson and York were both keen on space projects, but when NASA was established later in 1958 and all space projects, and most of DARPA's funding, was transferred to it, then Johnson resigned. And then again DARPA was reorganized to do high risk, high gain, far out basic research, a posture that was enthusiastically embraced by the nation's scientists and research universities. After Johnson, Brigadier General Austin W. Betts was appointed as second director of DARPA, who resigned in early 1961 due to unknown reasons. Jack Runa, who was a professor of electrical engineering at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, took the charge of Brigadier General Austin W. Betts. It was Runa who hired J.C. Leclerc as the first administrator of the Information Processing Techniques Office, which played a vital role in creation of ARPANET, the basis for the future internet. J.C. Leclerc was an American psychologist and computer scientist. ARPANET was the first wide-area packet-switched network with distributed control, and one of the first networks to implement the TCP or IP protocol suite. Both technologies became the technical foundation of the modern internet. From 1958 to 1965, DARPA's emphasis centered on major national issues, including space, ballistic missile defense, and nuclear test detection. During 1960, all of its civilian space programs were transferred to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and the military space programs to the individual services. This allowed DARPA to concentrate its efforts on the Project Defender, Project Vela, and Project AGILE. Project Vela was a project undertaken by the United States Department of Defense to develop and implement methods to monitor compliance with the 1963 Partial Test Ban Treaty. This treaty banned the testing of nuclear weapons in the atmosphere, in outer space, and underwater, effectively meaning nuclear tests were only to be permitted underground. Project AGILE was a DARPA's project in the 1960s that investigated means for engaging in remote, limited warfare of an asymmetric type. The research was intended for use in providing US support to countries engaged in fighting communist insurgents, particularly in Vietnam and Thailand. The Defender and AGILE programs laid down the foundation of DARPA sensor, surveillance, and directed energy R&D, particularly in the study of radar, infrared sensing, and X-ray or gamma-ray detection. In 1959, with the collaboration of Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory, the Transit System, which is also known as NAVSAT or NNSS for Navy Navigation Satellite System, was created. That was the first satellite navigation system to be used operationally. In 1960, these programs were transferred for services, and DARPA reorganized again in 1972. During the early 1970s, it emphasized direct energy programs, information processing, and tactical technologies. Concerning information processing, DARPA made great progress, initially through its support of the development of time sharing. DARPA also supported the evolution of the ARPANET, packet radio network, packet satellite network, and ultimately, the internet, and research in the artificial intelligence fields of speech recognition and signal processing, including parts of Shaki the robot. Many of the successful programs were transitioned to the services, such as the foundation technologies in automatic target recognition, space-based sensing, propulsion, and materials that were transferred to the Strategic Defense Initiative Organization or SDIO, later known as the Ballistic Missile Defense Organization, BMDO, now titled the Missile Defense Agency, MDA. During the 1980s, the attention of the agency was centered on information processing and aircraft-related programs, including the National Aerospace Plane or NASP or Hypersonic Research Program. The Strategic Computing Program enabled DARPA to exploit advanced processing and networking technologies and to rebuild and strengthen relationships with universities after the Vietnam War. In addition, DARPA began to pursue new concepts for small lightweight satellites and erected new programs regarding defense manufacturing, submarine technology, and armor or anti-armor. On June 5, 2016, NASA and DARPA announced that it planned to build new X-planes with NASA's planned setting to create a whole series of X-planes over the next 10 years, between 2014 and 2016.